All right, traders. Hey, welcome on back here this Tuesday afternoon. Great to have all of us though back here November 18th. Kathleen, Brad, Michael, see Roseanne still here, Bill still here, Albert. I'll be speaking with you coming up at 3 o'clock. Looking forward to that, as well as April. You got David here, Elmer, Farzad, all of us just joining us. Let me get a quick sound check just to begin, make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. I'll tell you what, listen, I should have all of us back inside our live trading room at this point. There was a huge issue earlier with the internet, not just with CTU. Obviously, it's like Cloudflare. I think that's the company there, some cloud-based company. But a lot of the big websites, X, AWS, here, obviously CTU. But a bunch of different websites got affected. We should be good now. So with that said, listen, Kathleen had a great call out here just before. One of our longtime students, she was just with us a month or so ago at our Trader Summit event, the CYPH trade. Moving on up, listen, it's a great call out because it's got a good order book, good spread, nice orders out there. Resistance at 3. I think the open from yesterday was right at 304. So that should be a good area of resistance going into the afternoon. It's up 22%. So, out the gate, just no problem putting this on our watch list just to begin. The CYPH just called it out earlier. It was on our list from the other day. So nice stock to keep an eye on. Now with that though, what we'll just do is pretty quickly run through our percent gainers and losers list. Market is just a mess. It's a mess. It bounced a little earlier by like 11 o'clock, 10:30-ish. But from there, it's still lower highs. It's not really pushing up that much for us here. So you had a couple trades to the upside just before, like we were looking at QUBT, still kind of holding over where we wanted to see it hold over support earlier this morning. So this was a call out Wendy had earlier on. This is a nice call out from before, but is it going to make a higher high later on for us or not? That's kind of the question we need to answer here. So if the market pulls back, I wouldn't expect it. Even if the market pops, how much momentum do we really have to the upside? Right now, I don't think that we have a lot yet. So, there's a couple stocks that are doing good, small cap stocks from earlier. I'll go through them pretty briefly here. So, OLMA, we never got our entry off on this here, never pulled back low enough. I guess it just kind of went sideways, and that was that. So, this stock was from pre-market, ran up beautifully, crazy run up. I know a few of us killed it on this trade, like weeks pay, and then from there, that was it, game over. Ooh, look at this thing popping right now for us. How about that? BCG. Rich, you called this out just before? I don't know. No one did. Yeah, there we go. So, just kind of finding this right now out of the thin air here. So I like it. Good order book for the time being. You got a little resistance here right around 259, 260-ish. There might be something even larger behind that. Just be careful. Not a good long-term graph. You do have a good resistance. If it were to break over kind of just this area all put together, but I would even go more so these two highs here creating a resistance just across the year. It had one day where it took off, pop, drop, and that was it. Nice little move for the time being. Just be careful, though. You can't trust this stock as far as you could throw it. So, we'll add it to our list for the time being, but if the volume wanes down here suddenly and it crashes, don't be surprised. I didn't take my profit sooner on this trade. I wanted this to make a nice run for us, and I got stopped out at first on my first attempt. But myself and Alan earlier together in coaching, we were focused around this EPSM trade, and it was a good move for a while it lasted. The funny thing with this stock, we'll take a look at this in just a bit, but I just want to show you, like, anytime I'm in a trade with a student or I'm trying to jump into a trade with a student in coaching, I always tell you, like, directly. I tell my student, hey, just give me a sec, just boom, boom, boom. And I just type it in the chat right there. So at 10:58, if you see on the top right of your screen, Dave, Kathleen, Jim, all of us there in chat, you should see it popping up right there on the top right. I wrote earlier prior to 11 o'clock in the morning saying Alan and I are looking for EPSM to run in coaching. And pretty much ultimately, just later on, I had said, EPSM still making higher lows, so we're still looking for it to make higher highs, right? So it made a good push for a while it lasted. I just wanted this to make an even better run. I was hopeful for this to try and, a home run trade would be to see this fill the gap, and then if not even higher, up towards $4.30. But didn't do that, right? So I had to move my stop up. I got stopped out on this right below 250. Felt pretty good about the exit, but it is what it is. LFS up and down. That's kind of the theme for today. You don't want to deal with too much of that. BTQ has been mainly up though. Hey, the stock we actually called out also earlier on this morning. Uh, Order book a little thin, bit of a spread, but for right now, hey, it's been doing pretty good, holding near the highs, breaking above the high from last week there even too. Um, Tough to trust that one there. If you could hold over this middle line, then I'm led to believe it's going to go way up, way up top towards here, up towards like 830s. For right now, hey, I don't mind putting it on our watch list. BTQ, try and separate that from BCG. VNDA, ooh, nice move here. Good order book, liquid, steady trend. You don't need to have a casino stack to make money. So VNDA doing just fine here. We'll add it. Ondis was doing great all day. So yeah, unless if it puked right there, that one we're absolutely going to put on our watch list again. ONDS, the stock we've done pretty well on back from pretty much summertime, fall time here beginning. Pushed up from 2 up to over 11, almost $12. 600% move in that period. So big trees fall hard, but having a good intraday day today. So we'll add that. The CYPH now over 3, testing that open price from yesterday at 304. Again, we had said 3 and 304 put together. So even if it nips above it by a penny, that's not a breakout, remember? So I would just say, hey, if you're looking for a better move on this trade going forward, either wait to see this pull back and then retest, or if it blasts it here, it would then need to flip it into support. So if it just suddenly pops right now, goes up to like 320, 325, great. Because then in that case, I'd feel better about the flipping into support. So, CYPH, we got their number 1 on our watch list. ANVS looking pretty good here too. Order book a bit thin. Just be careful. Spread could open up for right now. It seems contained, but that's where you got resistance here. Basically, this order had to have shown up in the last 4 or 5 minutes. How do I know? Because the stock hit a high of the day of 382, and when it pulled back, only then did that order show up. It's pretty much where right off 380. That order was there for a moment. Might be through a different ECN, but it's going up. I mean, for right now, it's tradable. ANVS, we'll add it as well. A couple of cheap trades now to work with. Oh, you know what I gotta do? I probably, yeah. I gotta filter this out by volume here, so just give me a moment. Gotta weed out all the low volume crap. So ANVS, VNDA, BTQ, all those still great. Just I knew something was a bit up. SOLT did bounce at the open. I wasn't like really big on the crypto stocks going into the morning, at least right out the gate. But they're holding pretty well here. If we take a look on Bitcoin, we got our small bounce up to like a whopping 93.3. There's a chance that we could see a push up into the close, but normally the crypto stocks don't really make that better push before 4 p.m. Maybe if you're trying to do some swing trade into tomorrow morning at this stage, it could work out. But, even right now, let's see if there's anything better. Again, that QUBT that Wendy had first called out this morning, I chatted her about it just a moment ago. Hey, it's been doing pretty good here, right? It's up 9%. Here it is now on the the ETF to it at least, but on the gainers list, QUBT. I don't mind putting it on our list now at this point. All right, so we're doing good on 2 trades right now, by the way. The QUBT, I'm in from 1244. I'd gotten in just beforehand, and then the SGBX. That was a pretty simple one. EBAT pushing back on up. A little slow stock, but having a good day today. I could easily add that. I just don't want to build up too big of a watch list now at this stage. So I'm going to hold off and just kind of reserve it for like stocks, kind of like Wolf here. A little bit more spark to it, a little bit more life to it. BBAI is like a nice little move, but again, I could say the same with this as I just said with ABAT. this almost has two big orders out there on the book to break through. So it might go up a few more pennies on the dollar, but you want something with a little bit more spark to it. QUBT out there, like we just put on our list. NBIS expensive. USAR maybe. This one has ran for us in the past. EOS though has two. This stock I do particularly like. Sure glad I went break even on that. What else? Yeah, BMNR. Yeah, this is one of the crypto stocks, Ethereum stocks, so it's not really doing jack right now. Run, consolidating, not much going on there. Iron's making a new high of the day, but again, we've seen this trade a lot better for the price. For the price, we've seen that trade way better going up. We don't need to put that on our list. So it's okay. I mean, hey, it's good to go through it. We got to cross our T's, dot our I's, right? So let's go across the loser side right now, see if there's any good looking shorts to work with. I mean, a couple stocks filling a gap a bit overnight, but oof, oof. Pinduo Duo still dropping, huh? And big volume just got filled here, likely off the 120 level, right? Yeah, pretty much right off 120. This got hit. So as a short, we'll take it. And if it holds over 120, maybe it could squeeze back up before 330 or by 330. But we'll add the Pinduo Duo back to our list here. AMD got clobbered early on this morning. Not much to it right now, though. Hmm. All right, that's pretty much all I got here from the loser side here, folks. So Grant, Kathleen, Brad, Michael, Steven, all of us here inside our live trading room. Let me know if anything else looks good. Nah, the OLMA I'm done with. I'm done with that. It's casino stock. Pushed up earlier, dumped off a lot, didn't get the level I wanted, but if it goes up to 22, I'll let other people kill themselves trying to get that dollar. But for right now, we got some better trades to work with, I feel. I mean, I say that because of the order book, right? The order book is so thin. If it wants to pop, then, let it prove itself to us. All right, I got like 18,000 screens up here. Give me a second here. I got to find my Benzinga Pro. All right, here we are. So EPSM, again, that one's kind of hanging out, I guess, trying to go back up a bit. There's that OLMA. We kind of passed on that, though, for the time being. Not much else that's up like a lot, a lot. You got a few stocks up around like 15, 25%. The CYPH is trying to go higher a little bit. Not much, but, it's trying. This one was on that scanner, Tara, Pro-Tara Therapeutic. I don't see much in this right now. I mean, it's at the highs, but just because it's at the highs, you got to see like a little bit consistency in terms of volume, in terms of the spread, the order book. If this wants to hold here, we'll call it out later on. We'll put this on our B list. The EPSM is trying to go back up a little bit, isn't it? I mean, it's showing some life. Again, for a $2 stock, this has more life to it than some of the other stocks, $5, $10 per share. So EPSM, yeah, I'll put this back on our list for the time being. Just going back to it. All right. So again, for all of us inside our live trading room, that was pretty much all we got, right? Not much else that we really need to like fish through, and you don't need to scrape the bottom of the barrel to like make money. So we got a good list to work with right now already. I think the SGBX we did have on there, didn't we? Put the SGBX on our list. Oh no, not yet. Yeah, so this one. So I'm in this trade also alongside the QUBT for the time being. Right off of 350, 340, 350 area, but otherwise it's just a matter of seeing higher highs. It feels like it kind of fizzled out though. Feels like it kind of fizzled out. So I don't know. I'm not that impressed with the way it's been moving. I've been waiting to see that dip down, and we got it, but it hasn't been too impressive since. So I don't really care too much for it. IDN from Kathleen. For the price, again, you want to have a better order book. So when you see like one share here, that's literally one share. I don't know if that's Fausto right now in Florida, tuning in right now with his one share. No, but you got that a couple times around here on the bid. So between that, how thin the rest of the book is out there, that's just kind of where you can say it's okay if we pass on it for right now. See, that's the difference between that and like CYPH, because that's the difference. CYPH has big orders at every price. Even if it opens up to a 2 cent spread, that's fine. You got a massive. Whoa, hello. Hi, how are you? We got about 500,000 shares worth to sell right at 318 and 320. So, yeah, we know where resistance now is on this trade. All right, so how about this? Just before we jump off, do I have this up on my screen here on my book map? I don't. I'll pull this up here. I'll show you. Just give me a sec. There we are. So those orders have been out there, Kath, since like 10:30 in the morning. Check that. That's pretty unique. Those orders have been there all day, pretty much. Well, you got to follow the big orders out there, follow the big money. So I would absolutely expect for that to be resistance at least going into the afternoon. But that's the type of stock you want to work with in terms of liquidity, volume out there. It's all good because hey, maybe some stocks will tend to have more orders on the book at times than others, and you got to learn to pick and choose them. But otherwise, this goes for all of us here: Jazz and Keith and Michael and Roger and Glenn here and April and Tony, and got all of us here. So keep in mind, we also have our classes continuing this week. Today is only Tuesday, but we finished up phase one, the first couple classes for November just yesterday. Started off really good, going over charting patterns and core charting principles. Just simple resistance into support, simple support into resistance, retesting of a big level, things like that, right? So just keep it simple. That's all we got to do. But along with that, hey, we're going to go a lot further into the volume later on, going into next month's classes in December. We always go over volume, at least in our workshops and inside the live trading room. We always make mention of it. But keep in mind, it's not even just the charts; it's also level 3 and level 4 with that. So, for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Just hey, if you're interested in learning more, just make sure to first and foremost subscribe and follow right to our YouTube channel at Cyber Trading U, popping up on the lower left right there, as I always like to say. Just make sure to hit the follow or subscribe right there. We always stream live each and every day, weekday at least, not the weekends, but every weekday, Monday to Friday, mornings and afternoons both. And at least we'll be back inside our live trading room going forward into the next hour here before the market closes. So if you wanted to take the next steps from there and skip the queue, join us directly inside our live trading room. Just go right down to the link scrolling down on the bottom below in blue. A lot of alliteration there in that sentence, but ctu.co/trial. Just again, ctu.co/trial as it shows right down there. Make sure to join us right there inside our live trading room. But otherwise, for all of our students right now, we'll be back on in just about 12, 15 or so minutes, just shortly after 3 p.m. Take care.